This is a follow-up review of my 2015 Norco Sight Carbon C7.1. I'll start at the front of the bike and move my way to the back with the parts as I see them. Get starting right at the front, the Money Mary front tyre. Great front tyre, 2.35. Has grip in all conditions but mud. It's pretty woeful in mud. Holds on to it while you're in the wet and then throws it all on your face when you get back onto the tarmac, if that's what happens. But in loose over hard pack, which is sort of 80% to 90% of the riding in Australia, most certainly, it's fantastic. And then just straight out hard pack, it's great too. Stan's Arch EX rims. Was a little concerned about these because they are marketed as Stan's heavier duty but cross-country rim. But in doing a little bit of research, the flows, which are marketed as their All Mountain rim, have the exact same rim profile. The only difference is that the rim in the flows is wider. So in theory, they should even be a little bit stronger, yet still lighter. The wheels do come set up, ready to go tubeless. You just have to ditch the tubes, put a tubeless valve in and throw in some sealant, which I've done, running the front tyre at 28 psi and the rear at about 30. The guide brakes, Sram Guide RSC brakes, fantastic. I was very nervous about them because I hated Avid brakes with a passion. I swapped them out on my last bike for a set of Shimano XTs. These ones so far, which the Avids were good at and they retain, is the great modulation through the brake lever. They don't have, however, that terrible "here I come" Avid squeal about them, which I appreciate, although they do squeal in the wet. The brake levers, these are a fantastic amount of adjustment in them. This little reach lever adjustment, however, out of focus, sorry, is a bit plasticky and doesn't feel great to use, but it is functional and it hasn't broken. This dial here is for adjusting the point at which the pads contact the rotors, and I find that to be a really good feature. 760 mil carbon bar, well, holds the grips in the air and it's about the right width for me. Same goes for the stem, race face stem, Cane Creek head seat, as you'd expect without any issues early in the stage. RockShox's Pike RCT3 shock lives up to the claims of all the reviews. Great small bump compliance, big hit performance, two-stage lockout, which is very easy to achieve. I haven't had to put a bottomless token in, but this is the one with the charge and damper, so it can be adjusted with the token. I guess the next major feature on the bike is this Cane Creek shock, which works fantastically well. You'll see that's the high speed rebound and low speed rebound, low speed compression and high speed compression on the other side. Quite adjustable. You just need the Allen key, which is provided, or anything that you probably have in your multi-tool. The larger ones for the high speed on both sides don't have a detent click. It'd be good if that was, because it's just about rotation to get the adjustments. I think they both rotate about 4.5 turns, but the low speed, the rebound and the compression both have clicks. I found that setting the shock up is best to actually set the sag up a little bit less. I think the recommendation for the shock is 17mm. I set it up at about 15 and then put all of these settings back to the factory settings after trying to initially adjust through this and having the sag at the recommended level. The RockShox reverb post, again, as you'd expect, hasn't had any issues. Beautiful internal cable routing, works a treat. Certainly a lot smoother than the giant contact one I had on my last bike, the Sram XX1 drivetrain cranks are just a dream. Shifts are seamless, running is nice and quiet. The X1 lever on the bars is a couple of pegs down the tree as far as the group set hierarchy goes, but I can't fault it. I couldn't see any reason to upgrade it. The bike as a whole, with the front suspension and the rear suspension being so infinitely adjustable, is a real dream to ride. The frame, even in my viewfinder of my phone, comes up a lot more yellow than in real life. It actually pops quite a bright sort of an orange, and the blue sets it off quite well. I think a more experienced, a more talented rider than myself could get a whole lot more out of this bike than what I can, but most certainly it's improved my riding and given me a lot more confidence, and I was off the bike for quite a while before purchasing the bike, and I think that's only going to grow, and it certainly encourages me to ride a lot faster than I would have otherwise. Supremely comfortable rear suspension compliance, and the way the thing just soaks up the bumps and keeps that rear wheel down when you need it to is fantastic. And the rollover that you get from the 27.5-inch tyres, wheels and tyres, certainly does make a little bit of a difference over 26s, and given this bike isn't quite as long in the suspension and quite as slack in the head angle, although I think it's close, as my giant Rain, it handles streets better. But that's pretty much it at this stage. I'm really happy with the bike. Anybody that has ordered one and haven't received it yet, you will be very pleased with the bike, I'm quite sure. And if you are tossing up, certainly comes with my recommendation. I was very anxious about forking over that amount of money for a bike. Not as anxious as my wife was, but it's most certainly worth every penny in my view. And speaking of my view, I'll just finish the review off with a little snapshot of my hometown, Wollongong. Thanks for listening. See you later.